See, make sure it's on my page. I'm checking Facebook right now. Hadn't showed up on Facebook yet.
I don't see it on Twitter yet either.
Okay. See here. It's probably gonna take a quick second. Go on to profile. Lindsay, are you on Facebook?
I'm about to go right now.
We're on Twitter.
Hold on.
Yeah, we are on Twitter. Let's see. Has it made it to Facebook yet? Nope, still not on Facebook.
I don't see it. Yeah.
I don't see it on Twitter either.
It's on my page, my personal page.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, it's on my personal page.
Because usually Facebook tells me when you put something up.
Yeah.
Popped up yet.
I don't know. That's strange.
Let's
I have
see.
to look at that. Let's see. I don't like that there. You found it, Garrett?
Yep, yeah. I got it. I retweeted it.
All right, sweet. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get this episode started. Lindsay, I guess it'll probably show up on Facebook shortly.
Yeah.
Takes a little while, maybe. That's what I mean. That's what I'm thinking. So.
Okay, yeah. I'll just kind of keep my phone down and see.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 95 of Titos&Chicken, your unofficial South Carolina Gamecocks podcast, coming at you with a low country state of mind. I got Lindsay in the house. Lindsay, how you doing, girl?
Hey, I'm good. What's up?
Yeah, nothing much. Nothing much. Also, guys, I got Garrett here with me. He is new to the podcast. This is his first
podcast ever. Yes, sir.
Oh man, you're gonna kill it. I know you are.
I was just about to say
that. It's a good time, man. You know, we're relaxed, we're chill. You know, we just like to have a good time, and obviously, we have a drink with us. So,
cheers.
Just here chilling, just talking Gamecock athletics, man. We keep it real. So, anyways, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate. Please help us continue to get this podcast out there. Yes, we haven't been coming out with very many shows of recent. It's been quiet. It's been a little quiet. Obviously, not the women winning the national championship. That was amazing. So, you know, come football season, we're going to be here every week. You know, Lindsay, you know how we roll during football season. If it's a win or if it's a loss, we're here. So, yeah, that's how it is. So, but guys, again, please help us continue to get this podcast out there. Couple of things real quick I want to get into before we start this episode. Again, congratulations to the Lady Gamecocks. 64-49 win over UConn. God, that was just so sweet beating UConn.
It just makes it that much sweeter beating those guys too, you know? I mean,
yes.
We beat everybody. We beat everybody to win it all. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Those girls killed it. So happy for them. Gosh, I was so happy. And what else is going on? There's not much going on football-wise. You know, there's some recruiting stories here and there, but nothing, you know, that we got to, you know, bring up. Obviously, the spring game next Saturday. But that's about it. You know, nothing too crazy. Obviously, everybody knows about Spencer Rattler, Stogner, all the new additions and whatnot. But we're going to talk about that here later. So sit here, enjoy, chill with us. We got the baseball game coming on in 20 minutes, so we're going to try to get this done, but probably not. So we're probably going to bleed over a little bit.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. But Garrett, so guys, we're going to jump into this Bourbon event that we have next Friday. Garrett, I want you go ahead, take the wheel here because you know everything about it.
Well, we appreciate you, Evan. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Garrett Daly. I'm the engagement coordinator for Gamecock Bourbon, which is a new bourbon society connecting the two most passionate fan bases in the country, Carolina fans and bourbon fans. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Before I talk about the actual event, I just wanted to shout out our team really quick. We put in a lot of work these past few months, and I really want to give them that shout out. So GC Ramey is our founder of Gamecock Bourbon. He's the man with the vision, has kind of put us in a position of success with planning and setting up this group. Want to shout out Jeremy Smith. He's our event planner. He's the one that secured Bourbon on Main for our first event. He's done some really great things with partnerships in the Columbia area, so I'm thankful for him. Want to shout out our artist, John, who has actually made this logo for our group and our merchandise site. He's done really good on the visual side for Gamecock Bourbon. And then lastly on our team, want to shout out Evan and Miss Kristen Hopkins for being able to help me outreach our group and connect with new alumni and people on Twitter. So you guys have been very thankful and helpful with that. So I'm thankful for you guys. Also want to shout out our Garnet level sponsors for our event. We have 3 sponsors who have donated $1,000 or more. Later this week, GC and I will be sending out a newsletter kind of highlighting their businesses a little bit more in detail, but still wanted to give them that quick shout out. Clint Hammond from the Mortgage Network, Paul Miles from Coldwell Banker Reality, and then Atlantic Coast Electric. You guys have been crucial in helping us fund this event. With that being said, we're going to have our first event this Friday from 5 to 8. It's at Bourbon on Main. Going to be a lot of drinking, a lot of good food. It looks like the weather's going to be pretty good, so we're excited for that. I don't know if everyone's seen, but Steven Garcia will be there. He's going to be doing photos and autographs, so meet the man, the myth, the legend. I will say that our team and I have been kind of planning some surprises. I don't want to give them away just yet, just because I want people to be surprised. And I know that schedules changes when it's coming closer to spring game, but super excited for you guys to be there. It's going to be a great time to network, meet new people in Columbia. It's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to what we have going on and what we've been planning.
Yeah, of course. There's also a baseball game that evening at 7 p.m. Ole Miss comes to town.
Yep.
I feel like people are going to go to the event and then maybe go over to the baseball game, or people are just going to be having so much fun at the event they're just going to stay there. So either way, guys, Friday next weekend is jam packed with events. Saturday, I think you mentioned maybe tailgating, having a Gamecock Bourbon Society tailgate.
Yep. So we're going to release that information Wednesday or Thursday, but we are having a tailgate. So if you're going to not be in town Friday night, please come see us on Saturday. We're going to have a great time before the spring game, see our Gamecocks play at night in Willie B. Information will be released on that this week, but just 2 events that, can kind of introduce ourselves to our members, and we're looking forward to meeting everybody. We appreciate the support, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. How cool is that, though, to have the spring game at 7 p.m., have ESPN covering it?
Yeah. I think that's
wild.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so jealous I'm not going to be there, but I think the Bourbon event's like the perfect pregame, get everybody excited, and then you got the spring game the next night. I mean, it's going to be epic. So
yeah, like I mentioned, that's a busy weekend next weekend. So
Evan, I expect you to update me with Snapchats, Instagram posts, so I can feel like I'm there, please.
Yeah. Oh God, I got you covered on that.
All right, good.
Definitely got you covered there. But next weekend should obviously be a really good one. I'm very excited for it. Anytime I can get to Columbia for a weekend, it's a good time. So looking forward to everything for sure. So we got the event covered. Garrett, thank you for killing that, like I figured you would. So let's get into the spring game. Let's do a little breakdown here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about a position. We're not going to go too in depth in that position, but we're just going to talk about, the new additions, what we think that player would do in that role or whatnot, So let's start with the quarterbacks. Obviously, Spencer Rattler being the headline there. Still got a talented group, guys. Tanner Bailey, Braden Davis, 2 4-star guys, 2 young 4-star guys. He still got Luke Doty. I'm hearing people saying that he could switch to wide receiver, and which I can see it, but do you want that to happen?
Is it necessary to is the question. I mean, looking at the receivers we have, so I don't know. I don't know that it's necessary for him to switch. But.
Yeah.
I think you have to keep Doty in the quarterback room because, as we know, injuries do happen. I mean, look at what happened to Doty last year, and we don't want to be in a position where we're having to play 4 or 5 different quarterbacks. So I don't know. I think this is the deepest quarterback room South Carolina's had in years, probably since the third area. I think you have to keep Doty at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It's just, like you said, it's a deep room, deepest we've had in some time.
Yeah.
So It's nice. It's always nice to have them there. So I'm pretty confident with the quarterbacks. Last year, obviously not. So I mean, the quarterback room has done a complete flip. I think y'all would
Right.
agree with me there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
pretty
I
confident.
agree. I think I'm most excited to see this group develop. Obviously, Spencer Rattler, is the name everybody wants to talk about. It's huge pickup, but I think the whole quarterback room as a whole shows the work that was put in the transfer portal, and Shane Beamer going out and getting and building that room back up that was completely decimated last year. We all know that.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, I know. So I agree. I think Rattler is going to be obviously super exciting to watch. But Braden Davis, Bailey, I'm excited to see what they can do too. And then I totally agree. Keep Luke Doty where he is. He's still got talent. He's skilled at that position, and I think he'll only get better, especially with those people around him. And also intrigued to see what Satterfield can do with a well-developed quarterback, which was a struggle last year. We all know. And we'll see. I mean, he might be able to wow the world and shock us, especially with Rattler under center. So,
I mean, anything is better than the offense we rolled out on the field last season. Literally anything.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the running backs. Another pretty solid room for the most part. Marshawn Lloyd, Juju McDowell, Rashad Amos, and then you got. I swear to God, I butcher this guy's name every time. How do you say it?
I think it's Lavoisier, isn't it?
Lavoisier Carroll, yes. Yeah. Who committed to us, what was that, Garrett, a year or two ago?
I think 2018. I think he was 2018, 2019 in the Muschamp era. Yeah.
Yeah. And then decommitted.
Yeah.
And now has committed again. So hopefully he's staying this time. Kid's very talented. That's just all you got to say there with him. I think he was at Georgia, and what was going on? He was playing a position he didn't want to play.
They switched him to DB, I think, at Georgia.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, and obviously he wanted to play running back, and I think is a great pickup. Intrigued to see what he can do. And you've got Christian Beal-Smith too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I think.
How do you feel about this running back room?
This group is so different from last year, right? I mean, you look at Z White, Kevin Harris. You had a lot of experience, right? And you have a lot of raw talent in the running back room this year. I mean, I'm excited to see what we have. I'm intrigued to see who's going to take the lead. I know a lot of people are saying Marshawn Lloyd has been really killing it in camp, but my eyes is on Christian Beal-Smith. I think he was a starter at Wake Forest. I think there's a lot of talent in that room. I kind of want to see who's the lead back. We have, again, it's a very deep room.
Yeah. It's just so funny you saying that. Like we've talked about two positions so far here, and we've both of those positions are deep as hell. And that's good. You need that. You really do. And
I think the transfer portal has been our best friend, I think. South Carolina has been able to completely change the talent on our roster for sure.
Yeah, I think it's like the sign of the times and the culture. I mean, look at Shane Beamer. Like there's no downtime, no off time. Like he hit the ground running. And I mean, it's clear. Like look at these two position groups. I mean, and how stacked they are when you lose Z White, Kevin Harris, in a year, and you kind of expect it to be, kind of piecemeal together. And yet look at us. I mean, we're talking about, that was 6 different backs we just mentioned. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. It's crazy. Literally crazy at that position. Yeah. Tight ends. Austin Sogner, homeboy Jaheim Bell. God, I love that guy so much. I love that is Mr. Do It All. Literally. What do y'all feel about this group? Garrett, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I was going to say, Evan, I joined your sentiment in saying I love Jaheim Bell. I was actually at the Duke Mayo Bowl win where he just absolutely went off. I think tight end is going to be the strongest position group on our team. I think Austin Stogner, Jaheim Bell. You're going to have E.J. Jenkins float in and out of wide receiver, tight end. You have Trey Kenyon, who is really good as well. I think this is a strong group. Again, hate to say it, but we're deep in that position group. I mean, we have a lot of people that can come in and play, and I'm really excited to see what we do with those guys.
Yeah. Lindsay, how about you there?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with everything that Garrett said. I'm really interested to see how EJ Jenkins can be used
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
this year.
I was just about to mention his name, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we've all talked about his stature. He's massive. I mean, he's like the perfect target. And I think having a quarterback like Spencer Rattler, someone who, is obviously very well developed in that position, can get the ball to him, but still Austin Stogner, huge, like massive pickup.
Yeah.
Jaheim Bell, I feel like he'll be the Debo 2.0. That's what he was last year. He's going to continue that for us. He's just unstoppable. I feel like he's just so versatile that he could be, in the backfield. He can, play any position really. So super deep as well, which is crazy to say, but it's
We're
true.
3 for 3 right now, guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm interested to see what, the new tight ends coach can do. I mean, obviously he has amazing players there. So Jody Wright, I think. I don't know much about him, but
and I was going to add too, like, I hope that this tight end room, I hope we do more vertical passing with them. I know last year, I just want to see Austin Stogner and Jaheim Bell go down the middle. Like, I need to see some vertical threats from them. I think Spencer Rattler is going to be able to do that. He's very familiar with that at Oklahoma. So hopefully we see a little bit more from that group this year as well.
Yeah. For sure. Okay, well, going to the wide receivers, obviously Josh Vann coming back, that's huge. Guy literally blew up last season. Awesome season for him. You got Xavier Leggett. I've been hearing some good stuff about him.
Amazing.
He's finally coming along. Excuse me, guys.
Yeah.
So Leggett, you got you mentioned EJ. You got Dak. Maybe he can have a good season. Put together a solid season. Landon Sampson, which everyone loves. I feel like this guy's going to come in and just
be a baller.
Make an impact. Yeah. Make a impact. And Xavier Short, transfer from App State, I believe it was. He came from. I'm asking y'all.
He wasn't a transfer. He'd committed to App State and then flipped to us.
That's what it was. Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, Garrett, what do you think about the wide receiver group here?
Well, and another name that you didn't mention that's been getting a lot of hype has been Amarian Brown, right? So
the Georgia Tech kid.
Yeah, the Georgia Tech guy. You've got Antoine Wells and Corey Rucker, the two transfers. I think this is the group that surprises me the most because looking back from a year ago, we had nobody. There was so many question marks going in, like who was going to play, who are we going to plug in these spots? I mean, we have about 7 or 8 starting level dudes that are going to be able to perform. I'm excited to see who etches out the final 2 spots for the wide receiver room because I know Jaheim Bell is going to switch in and out. I know EJ Jenkins is going to switch in and out. There's questions. What is Dakereon Joyner going to be? Is Juju McDowell going to slide into some slot roles? I think this group is great. We have a lot of different options. I love the depth of what we're doing. We have transfers, we have starters, we have high level freshmen. Like I said, I think Landon Sampson's going to come in and be a fan favorite. I just have that feeling about him. I've watched a lot of tape from him. So, I mean, I'm excited to see what this group does. It kind of feels weird just from a year ago not having any questions about this room. Like, I don't feel like that's a position of weakness in this upcoming year, which is weird.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think, too, my favorite coach on staff is Justin Stepp, obviously. And you look at what he did with the wide receivers last year. Look at Josh Vann, for example. We kind of forgot he was on the team, because he had no production. And then look at the breakout year. I mean, he was incredible, crucial to the wins and the success that we had. So look at what Stepp did with him in a year. The buildup in this room, the transfers, incredible. Corey Rucker, Antoine Wells, huge. I think it's exciting. And I think with the quarterback play that we can expect and with the talent in this wide receiver room, I really think Marcus Satterfield can really impress us. I know we all had questions last year about him, me included 100%, but I really do think with the talent levels that we have with those two, it could be, I think we could really get blown away by his potential there. So I'm excited to see that passing game for sure.
Yeah. Like you were saying with Satterfield, it was probably every other game I was tweeting, dude, we got to fire this guy. Like I'm not going to lie. I was not on the Marcus Satterfield train at all, but he had nothing. Let's
Yeah.
be real. Like, look who
Well,
we had at quarterback.
yeah, I
Like,
think it's easy for all of us to recognize exactly what you're saying, Evan, in hindsight. We can look back on it and we can really kind of reevaluate a little bit.
yeah,
Not to get him off the hook. I'm not doing that, but you're right. What you're
yeah.
saying.
Well, if he can't do anything with the team we have this year, then
Yeah.
he needs to go back to the pros or
You can
wherever the
pack
hell
the
he
bag
came
so
from.
we can't.
Yeah, literally. Okay, so moving on to the offensive line. Oh God, I this was a position I was just not happy with last year at all. Just seemed like they couldn't get it together. I just heard so many things. The schemes were just too difficult for them to pick up. Satterfield and the offensive line coach Askins weren't getting along. It was just a bunch of different things I was hearing. But what do you think about this unit this year, Garrett? With Dylan Wonnum coming back, what do you think?
I will say that looking forward to this football season, this is the group that scares me the most because they didn't really add anybody. I was kind of shocked that they didn't go in the transfer.
No, they really didn't.
They didn't add anybody. And I think what people miss is, we signed 3 high school level, offensive line prospects. But the thing about offensive line is it takes about 2 to 3 years being in the weight room, having to develop those skills. So
yeah.
I think that we have talent there, but it makes me a little nervous not seeing any new additions. Like I said, the wide receiver room, we've added people. The running back room, we've added people. Offensive line, we just have to hope that they improve from last year. And I know that Eric Douglas and Javon Gwynn, they're amazing. I have high hopes for them, but that is the one position group going into the football season that I'm a little bit uneasy with just because we don't have any new additions in that group.
Yeah. Okay. Lindsay, what do you think about this group?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you took the words out of my mouth. I totally agree. Last year, we know how that went. I feel like every other podcast episode, Evan, we were talking about this group.
Literally every other episode.
Yeah, it was not good. And so you wonder, I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't win in the trenches, it doesn't matter the skill players you have. It doesn't matter, the quarterback you have in the backfield, what can you do? They're going to get either hurt. You're going to have no time to, scramble, get away from these things. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Eric Douglas, I'm glad he's coming back. Like you said,
yeah. I do like Eric Douglas. Yes.
Yeah. Great. I think he's great. However, can they be prepared? They didn't look prepared last year. And so that's what I want to see change. They need to come out well-disciplined, well-prepared, and just physical. You just want to see them have that kind of, chip on their shoulder a little bit. And maybe they will, considering kind of the, they got a lot of trash talked about them last year. So maybe that'll be.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they know that too.
Right? Yeah. So, again, question marks there. I definitely think it's the weakest position group, but hopefully they'll turn it around.
Yeah. Okay. Well, going to the other side of the line, how about the defensive line? I think this is a very strong group. I've always been a defensive line person. I've always stuck up for these guys. You got Zach Pickens, you got Jordan Burch, Sandage, Huntley, Tonka. You got some big names in that unit, in that group. Garrett, where are you at with this group?
I like them. I think for me, I just want to see what they're able to do. So we lost a lot of talent last year with J.J. Nabar going to the NFL.
Yeah, losing those guys, that did hurt, yes.
But this is a talented group, like you said. And another name that I've been hearing in camp recently is just T.J. Sanders, the sophomore defensive lineman.
Yes,
freshman.
I'm hearing about him as well, yeah.
We have a lot of talent on the defensive line. They don't make me as nervous, but I just want to see how do we replace those guys that went to the NFL, because we had some ballers on the line last year. And, I think I'm very hopeful for this group. This isn't the position of need on defense that I'm worried about. I think our defensive line is going to go out. They're going to have some easy games in the first part of the schedule to kind of figure out who they are. So I'm excited to see what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Lindsay? Well, I step away and close my blind because I'm getting blinded back here.
No, I agree with you, Garrett. I think this is a position that has depth, which is what you want in a defensive line. To be able to rotate these guys, to keep them fresh. I think Jordan Strawn is another name that we left out, who's going to have a breakout year this year too, kind of replacing some of those on the edge. I also think Terrell Dawkins, the NC State transfer, big name there, especially to fill in those gaps. And with this position too, like the edge rushers, I guess, with Sterling Lucas, the new coaching hire that replaced Mike Peterson. I'm interested to see how he can kind of come in and get this group right. Not that they need it, but with Burch and continue to develop them and have that same energy. But I think they're strong. Pickens, Hemingway, Sandage, Huntley, all them. Burch.
Okay. Do you think this is a year Jordan has? Do you think this is Jordan Burch's breakout year?
It has to
I
be.
mean,
Yeah.
it has to be. Yeah. I've always been high on him. I mean, everyone has been high on him. He was 5'2". What was he? The number 3 overall recruit in the country?
He was top 5. I mean, I think he was number 3 in the country.
Yeah, right around there. So obviously, we're expecting a lot out of him. So
I will just never.
This is the year.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I don't remember what game he was playing in this past year when the announcers were basically like shitting on him, like, "Oh, this guy, like he's had no production, like he kind of needs to step up, blah blah blah." And then literally next play, I think it was like a batted ball, like he's scored.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like don't like sleep on him. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if anything, he's going to be the one that has to be the leader there. I think Strawn too is kind of a player like him, but Jordan Burch for sure, 100%.
Well, I'll add to it too. Our defense is going to be as good as Jordan Burch is. So if he's not playing to his caliber, that's going to affect our defense. And in his defense, he was playing behind a lot of NFL guys, so it wasn't like he was a bum that couldn't play. I mean, he's playing against people that are playing in the NFL. So I don't blame him. I think he's going to break out this year. I have all the hope for him in the world. I think he's going to be great.
Okay. Well, how about the linebackers? Sherrod Green, he's coming back. Brad Johnson, you got Stone Blanton, who's another person everyone's high on. Yeah. Two-sport athlete, plays baseball as well. Where are you at with the linebackers, Garrett?
I think out of the entire defense, this is the position group that scares me the most.
I was going to say that.
It is very there are great players. I think
very thin to me.
Yeah, I'm high on Sherrod Green, but he's just had such an injury history, right? And Brad Johnson, I think we know what kind of player he is. I'm excited to see Stone and what he does when he comes on campus. I'm actually really excited to also see Debo Williams, see what he's able to do. I will say that looking at the defense, this is the position group that scares me just a little bit, just because I don't think we have that star player yet. I'm not saying that we won't. There's still a lot of off season left, but I'm a little intrigued to see what we do just with all the injury history for our group there.
Okay, Lindsay, how about you with the linebacking group?
Yeah, I'd agree. I feel like this is the group that does have the question marks, kind of unsure as far as where we stand. I mean, there's talent. You got Sherrod Green coming back as a veteran, Brad Johnson too. I think just in a leadership position, they will be huge in development. Debo Williams, like you mentioned, I have him written down. He was a little bit silent last year, more so like used special teams.
Special teams for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. But he'll be, I think, a breakout. And then, did y'all mention Westmoreland? Donovan Westmoreland is another one. Just kind of a newcomer there to see how he will fare. And then I believe, isn't Sterling Lucas going to help coach this position? I think he's either outside or inside. Outside, right? Yeah. So I think that'll be interesting. And then I think Clayton White helps too. So seeing how those coaches can develop here will be interesting. But yeah, I think this position will be one that is one to watch.
You got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, one to watch.
Need to watch. Gotcha. All right. So how about the DBs? Cam Smith. I honestly think Cam Smith low-key had a solid year last year.
He had amazing career. Yeah.
Definitely had a good year. You got R.J. Roderick coming back. Hopefully he doesn't miss any tackles. He's notorious for that.
He's always down for – got to have one. He always has one,
Gosh. But speaking of this group, Lindsay, where are you at with the DBs?
I'm actually – okay, I think these DBs, this group – I mean, Torian Gray, look what he did last year with the people or the personnel.
With literally nothing.
Nothing, right? Walk-ons. I mean, incredible developmentally. So Cam Smith, huge breakout. Roderick, yes. You got Rush, you got Dial. You have a lot of depth there. You have Reed coming in from Central Michigan, big pickup. I just feel like the coaching talent that we have at this position, he's going to get them right and get them ready. And I'm actually feeling quite confident in this position, which is one thing that I haven't didn't feel last year.
Yeah.
So.
Two players that I'm really excited to see, Emory Floyd and Keenan Nelson Jr. Holy shit. I'm ready to see those two guys ball out. I feel like I feel like they'll make an immediate impact, you know? So, Garrett, going to you, what do you think about this group?
Well, I think the same with the DBs that I did with the wide receiver room. Like, look from a year ago, just the talent that we've gained. And, I think, we talked about Cam Smith having a year last year. Let's talk about Darius Rush. I mean, Darius Rush held his
yeah. That's another one.
He was a wide receiver, a 3-star wide receiver that converted to DB, and he's been an animal. So I think this DB room, I have no worries in. I know Torian Gray is going to coach them up. There's a lot of talent. Devontae Reed, especially in that safety position. I have a lot of high hopes for what he can do. I'm not worried about the DBs at all. We're deep. We have Marcellus Dial. We have, David Spalding. We have the freshman that you just mentioned. I think that group's going to be solid next year. I'm not worried about that at all.
Okay. So if we can come into an agreement, we would say offensive line and linebackers are the two positions that you go kind of scare us a little bit, Yeah. Okay. So real quick, offensive player to keep how can I say this? Offensive player to keep an eye on this year. Who you got, Garrett?
I think people sleep on Juju McDowell, but I'm going to put my name on his brand. I think he is amazing. I think what he is going to be able to do in the running back room, maybe even do a Deebo Samuel type, wide back, being able to catch some, screen passes, things like that. He's going to be our X factor. I mean, he is going to be someone that I think we're going to be, looking at the end of the season, being like, people really slept on him. I'm really high on Juju McDowell.
Okay. Lindsay, how about you on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I love that pick. I think he's awesome. Like, I just love Juju. He's got swag. Like, he's just like literally like he runs like his life depends on it. Literally, like
every time. Yeah,
like literally refuses to go down. Like it's like he's gonna die if he goes. So love it. Appreciate him. He's awesome. I'm gonna go with the most obvious pick, and I know this is so cliche, but I'm so stoked for Spencer Rattler as our quarterback. I think just if you look at Carolina, we're never known for our quarterback. I mean, you know that. We have had some talent, of course, Connor Shaw being my favorite player of all time, but not in a while. I think this is literally what will take us. The quarterback play will elevate us in a way that we haven't seen our team play since, the Spurrier era. So it's going to be huge. If he can stay healthy, I think he's got all the talent in the world. I think he also has that chip on his shoulder. He is determined to prove his talent, which he has, especially all the stuff he had to deal with at Oklahoma last year. So Spencer Rattler all the way. I think they don't need to sleep on him. I think he's going to come out, show out. It's going to be a game changer that will elevate the entire team just with his play alone. So
okay. Well, I picked Spencer Rattler as well, and you said everything that I was going to say. So we're going to go to the defensive side of the ball. Garrett, who you got there?
My guy TJ Sanders on the defensive line, I think he's going to be someone to watch out for. I think he's going to sneak into the rotation. Usually when coaches talk about people multiple times, they're not, blowing smoke. They really mean it. So I think TJ is going to be someone who kind of sneaks into the rotation. I'm excited to see what he can do on that defensive line.
Okay. Lindsay, where are you at? Defensive side?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Zach Pickens just because I love the interior. That's where you have to have the strength, win in the trenches. You just got to get big and just work your ass off. I don't know. I feel like Zach Pickens has continued to do that. He's just solid in every way. And he only gets better. I feel like every year he just gets better. He's stronger. So I'm going Zach Pickens in that interior. So I think it starts there. You have the wow factors of the edge rushers. You have, Cam Smith on the, back end and the secondary that make the flashy plays, but it starts with this strength inside. So Zach Pickens will be huge for us this year, setting that tone. Up front.
I think this is hilarious. We have all picked defensive linemen on this. I picked Jordan Burch. Like we talked about earlier, I know he's been hearing stuff about him not producing much, not being that player that he was hyped up to be. I really feel like this is his season.
Yeah.
We need a leader on that defensive line. I really feel like he takes over. It's either going to be him or Zach, one or the other.
Yeah.
I do like the TJ Sanders pick, Garrett. I do feel like he could get into the rotation, But yeah, guys, that's it. That's the spring game breakdown. We're excited. We're gonna be there Saturday. Garrett, Lindsay's gonna be watching from her home in
I
Pawleys
will.
Island.
I'll be at my parents' house actually, so I'll be watching
you'll
with
be in
Bill.
Charleston. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in
yeah.
Charleston with my brother and my dad. So we're gonna do oysters, I think, and chill and just have a lot of drinks. And
talk about a Saturday.
I know.
Y'all are gonna have a good time down there. I know that.
Yes.
But Garrett, thank you so much for joining, letting everyone know about the event, the Bourbon event. It was a pleasure having you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And, if you guys don't follow Gamecock Bourbon, anybody that's watching, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Gamecock Bourbon. We'd love your support.
Yes, for sure. Lindsay, always love having you on. We will be doing this again. I'm trying to put together an outline with geez, I can't talk right now. Sorry, episodes. So soon as I get that done, I'll post that on our Titos&Chicken link. That way you can follow when we're coming out with different episodes and whatnot. So, but yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for listening. On that note, go Cox.
Go Cox.